All right, we want to give our praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles, your master rule of well, peace, blessings, salutation to the Akim, to the hopefully elect scattered across the four corners. This is going to be about hell. I got a little picture up, as you can see, and this is throughout the world. People believe that this is what hell is, hellfire. This is pretty much the Christian, the so-called white man, the slave owner's doctrine. If you was a good boy, you go to the white man's heaven. If you're a bad nigga, you go down to hell. So this is the paper that I have about what hell really is. And we also had last week the guy at IUIC pretty much talking about hell is you go down to hell and burn forever, go into some fire. Slacking. So it says the Bible reveals the truth about hell. It says most professing Christians' concept of hell does not come from the Bible, accepting the distorted ideas from this world cut off from Yahweh Yahushua. Their beliefs originated from pagan philosophy. Other religions, also not based on the teaching of the Bible, exercise much more imagination to fit their concept of eternal punishment. One of the best summaries of man's traditional concept of hell is found in the Encyclopedia Americana. As generally understood, hell is whether lost or condemned souls go after death to suffer indescribable torments and eternal punishment. It is the place of divine revenge and tempered, never-ending. This has been the idea most generally held by Christians, Catholics, and Protestants alike. As to the similarity of the concept of hell among various religions, the article continues. The main features of hell as conceived by Hindu, Persian, and Egyptian, Grecian, and Christian theologians are essentially the same. The writings of Dante Alighieri, 1265 to 1321, made a strong impression on Catholics during the later Middle Ages. His work, The Divine Comedy, provided vivid detail of sufferings in a dismal setting. He described as hell or inferno. His influential writing describing this inferno were inspired by the philosopher Plato and Virgil, to whom he looked with reverence and attributed divine inspiration. Since this inspiration led these famous philosophers to envision ideas contrary to the Bible. So again, a lot of nations had their own, ideology of what hell is, and then, got mixed up with, Christianity, and we understand, due to the so-called white man, his belief in, his workings, this image of the system. This is pretty much what took about pretty much the thoughts of the thoughts of the West. Hellfire. This is what happens to evildoers. And pretty much it was all, linked to going to the so-called white man system. So if you be a bad person, and this is according to Esau, this is what's going to happen. So if you, not paying your taxes, or, you revolting and you're upset and you're angry, oh, you're going to hell. So, continue on. It's a definition of hell. It says in the authorized version of the English Bible, there are 3 Greek terms and 1 Hebrew term translated hell. Sheol from the Hebrew and Hades from the Greek. Both terms clearly mean the grave. Tartaros from the Greek meaning a place of restraint, and Gehenna, the Greek term for the valley of Hinnom, a location just outside ancient Jerusalem, Gehenna can mean hell or hellfire. It says, as indicated, the Hebrew word translated hell in the Old Testament is Sheol. It has a New Testament counterpart, Hades. The term Sheol in a concordance most always reference the Greek word Hades. They both mean the grave, pit, world of the dead. The word Hades is mostly commonly used word in the New Testament for hell. Some translations have exchanged the word hell for Hades. In the 1600s, people in England commonly spoke of planting or putting their potatoes in hell through the winter. They understood that hell was a dark, cold, quiet place that was a hole in the ground. This word held no mystery for them. Virtually all sources agree that Sheol and Hades are the same and that both refer to the grave. It was only with the passing of time that the pagan view of hell as a blazing underground inferno came to replace this original intent of the word. Let me see something real quick. Give me one moment. Slocky. So it says, where does the word hell come from? It says, Webster's Third New International Dictionary, unabridged, under hell, says from hailing to conceal. The word hell thus originally conveyed no thought of heat or torment, but simply of a covered over or concealed place. Corley's Encyclopedia, 1986, volume 12, page 28, says concerning hell, first, it stands for the Hebrew Sheol of the Old Testament and the Greek Hades of the Septuagint in New Testament. Since Sheol in the Old Testament times refer simply to the abode of the dead and suggested no moral distinctions. The word hell, as understood today, is not a happy translation. The meaning given today to the word hell is that portrayed in Dante's Divine Comedy and Milton's Paradise Lost, which meaning is completely foreign to the original definition of the word. The idea of a hell or fiery torment dates back long before Dante or Milton. The Grolier Universal Encyclopedia, 1971, volume 9, page 205, under hell says, Hindus and Buddhists regard hell as a place of spiritual cleansing and final restoration. The Islamic tradition considers it a place of eternal punishment. The idea of suffering after death is found among the pagan religions' teachings of ancient peoples in Babylon and Egypt. Babylonian and Assyrian beliefs depicted the netherworld as a place full of horrors, presided over by gods and demons of great strength and fierceness. Although ancient Egyptian religious texts do not teach that the burning of any individual victim will go on forever, they do portray the other world as featuring pits of fire for the damned. This is the religion of Babylonia and Assyria by Morris Jastrow Jr., 1898, page 581. The Book of the Dead, 1960, page 135 to 200. So it says, hellfire has been a basic teaching in Christendom for many centuries. It is understandable why the Encyclopedia Americana, 1956, volume, this is Roman numeral, not the best, page 81, said much confusion and misunderstanding has been caused by the early translator of the Bible persistently rendering the Hebrew Sheol in the Greek Hades and Gehenna by the word hell. So it says, so what is the lake of fire of Revelation chapter 20? First, let's look at the verse 15. It says, whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. But verse 14 says, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. Is hell itself to be tormented? And how can death, a condition, be thrown into a little fire? Exactly. Speaking about nuclear missiles. And that lake of fire is going to be when America gets nuked in World War III by nuclear missiles, man. Bear with me. Let me see. Got one more pamphlet. And it says hell, Hades, Sheol, and Gehenna. So it says Sheol, the concept Sheol conveys is the underworld, the abode of the dead, a place of no return when there is no praise of the Most High, where the wicked were sent for punishment, a place of exile from the Most High. The righteous are not abandoned to it, the place of torment commonly called hell, where devils and damned spirits are hither. The souls of the wicked go immediately upon their departure from their bodies. So it says, Hades, hell. The word Hades, hell, is derived from name Pluto, Hades, who the ancient Romans and Greek believed was god of the underworld, the netherworld, the realm of the dead. This is the last one. This is Gehenna. This is derived from the Hebrew Gehinnom, the valley of Hinnom, a valley of Jerusalem that was used to dump dead animals and waste in. The heaps of refuse were then burned. It was figuratively used to designate a place of eternal dwelling and eternal punishment. So again, these people calling and saying that, what like the picture depicts. This, if you're bad, you're evil, you're wicked, this is what happens to you. Your body goes down to the underworld and it burns forever. And that pretty much said the Lord's not gonna have no mercy. This doesn't make sense, and pretty much it all goes back into heresies and philosophies. So again, that's what the Lord told our people to beware of. Colossians 2:8, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Hamashiach Yahushua. So again, a lot of things are coming out in these last times, these last days, about the truth of the scriptures. And again, what you see is the revealing of the truth, the light that's been given by the Spirit of Yahweh Yahushua to pretty much cut down all the philosophies and the vain philosophy and the deceit of this place, and for the true worshipers to be called back, and for the true worshipers to come back again in these last days. So these people that's believing in hellfire and you're bad, whatever, that really is talking about the nuclear missiles being hit, America being destroyed by thermonuclear missiles, the lake of fire. But oh yeah, another thing too, man. How the hell was Jonah, praying and talking if he was in hell? When Jonah was swallowed by that fish, he said he was in the belly of hell. So it was the fish. So I guess it was a red hot raging fish that swallowed Jonah, and then his inside was just burning on fire. It just doesn't make sense, and it's not what people cut it out to be. But with that, Lord's will, you was edified. I'm gonna say shalom.